All right. Good evening. Man, this took way too long to set up. Holy smokes. All right. I am on and live. Good evening. Welcome. 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 I want to wait just about 15 to 20 seconds. Let everybody come on in. If you are catching this live, I want you to put live in the comments. If you are catching this on the replay, please put replay in the comments. Um, I have a jam-packed, value-packed 30 to 45 minutes for you, but I'm not going to spend all night talking about this. I want to get straight in. I want to cut straight to the chase and get to the meat of it and then get out of the way so y'all can enjoy your Wednesday evening. So I really hope that everyone is having a great evening so far, a great week so far. And I'm really looking forward to sharing this information with you. I was talking with my mentor earlier today, and we decided that this was definitely a necessity, something that needed to be done. I've spoken on a number of different topics in the past, and tonight I'm just going to cut straight to the chase, and we're going to talk about a topic that a lot of people kind of beat around the bush, and that is credit repair. There's a lot of opinions out there. There's a lot of sources of truth out there, and we're going to take just a few minutes tonight. I'm going to talk about what I've gained from the industry over the last 5 years. I'm going to talk a little bit about, the basics. What is credit repair? Why it's necessary? And, who needs it? Because at the end of the day, not everybody needs it. They think they might. And a lot of people, who think that they don't do. And a lot of people who think that they do don't actually. I'll tell a story about a lady that I spoke with this afternoon in that second boat. So, again, if you're watching this live, please comment live. If you're watching this on replay, please comment on replay. And we'll get started here in just a few seconds. So, to see the numbers increasing nicely. So, excited about that. And if you have questions or comments, please put them in the chat. And please, if my audio happens to go out tonight, please let me know. Please let me know. Because it's happened to me before, and it seems like it's when it's the most valuable that it always seems to go out for some reason. So if you cannot hear me, please put something in the chat. So far, it looks like everything is going well. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get started. So I want to start this off by telling a little story, a little bit of an introduction for those who don't know me. My name is Jordan Bloomingdale. I have this streaming live on a couple of different platforms, but I have, I think, close to about 10,000 followers at this point. And so, I haven't had a chance to sit down and have a cup of coffee with everyone. So what I want to do is I want to give a little bit of introduction about me, my background, why I'm even in this industry, and then we'll go from there. So um, about about five, almost 6 years ago now, 5.5 years ago, I was I was at the point in my life where I was looking for some changes. Me and my wife had been married for, I guess, about a year at that point, and we were looking for that next step, which was, we wanted to grow a family, we wanted to build a home or buy a home, and we wanted to, kind of start our own journey. And unfortunately, raise your hand if you can relate to that, and then raise your hand if you can relate to this. that, my credit, my finances, my financial past caught up with me and reared its ugly head and said, "No, you're not qualified. You're gonna have to do some work first." And so I was looking around, doing some research, and came across someone that today I hold in the highest of standards whenever it comes to financial healthcare, financial literacy, and credit. And she taught me everything that I know, pretty much up to this point. And she's helped me get to this point in my own finances, my own credit, financial healthcare, and my own business. And so she introduced me to a program. I'm not going to introduce the program tonight because it's not important in this conversation. If you want information about it, I'll give it to you at a later date. But this is not a sales pitch, and I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm here to give you value. I'm here to educate you, and I'm here to give you something to hopefully take away that you can use in your own lives tonight. And so, through that vehicle, we'll call it, I was able to learn budgeting. I was able to maintain my budget. I was able to create savings goals and know why that's important. I was able to do a whole lot of things that, in effect, helped me build my credit score from the mid 400s, mid to upper 400s, up into the mid to upper 600s, and it completely changed everything for me. It absolutely, I mean, just the whole game changed. And so that was my first introduction into what we know as credit repair. Now, I was doing a little bit of research before I jumped on, and I just typed in Google define credit repair, and it has like that little AI section at the top. I'm not going to share my screen just yet. I will here in a minute, but um, the oversimplistic definition for credit repair is the process of improving a credit. And I have another screen, so in case you're like, what is he looking at? The process of improving a credit score by fixing or restoring it. This can involve correcting or removing inaccurate information from a credit report or addressing financial issues. Now, it goes into a number of other, Lending Tree has a page about it, Experian has a page about it, Bankrate, CNBC, Capital One, blah, 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 blah. Everybody has their own definition of credit repair, but that is, in the essence, what it is. It's the process of improving a score by fixing or restoring it. And it can involve correcting or removing inaccurate information from a credit report or addressing financial issues. So, going back to defining credit repair. So that's it in a nutshell. Now, why is that important? Because there's a difference between that and another common term that gets confused between credit repair and credit building. Now, credit repair is a process, and it's not a get quick fix process, but neither is credit building. Credit building, however, is something that you can do over time, and it becomes a discipline. And it's also known as financial literacy. Okay. So, financial literacy and credit building, and then credit repair. Now, the program that I used has credit repair and has it as part of it, but it's part of a financial literacy education. And so that part is important because there's a whole slew of different organizations, and we'll go into those here in a little bit. But it's important when you're deciding, one, if you need credit repair, or if you just need to build your credit score. And then if you do need credit repair, it's equally, if not more important, than to decide and figure out and know who you need to partner with. Do you need financial literacy? Do you need to establish and learn how to become disciplined in budgeting? Do you need to learn about savings goals and learn how to become disciplined in establishing and maintaining those? Or do you just have past mistakes? You already know about financial literacy. You already have those disciplines. You already know how to budget, and you just have past mistakes, late payments, etc. That you're having to deal with. Um, Sorry, just let me just check something real quick. So that's a couple of pieces of information that I want you to take tonight is figuring out where you are. If you are in one of those boats, and you may not be in either or. You may be saying, well, my credit score is a 750, I know, or a 775, and I have a budget, and I'm not the best at it. I'm not perfect, but it keeps me on board, and I know what bills are coming up. Everything's covered. I've got some money stuck away for a rainy day. I've got an emergency fund. I'm putting a little bit into stocks and investments each paycheck, and everything is good. Two thumbs way up if that's you. If it is, I would love to bring you on and ask you a couple of questions about how you learned it, where you learned it, who you learned it from. Did you make any mistakes along the way? Different things like that. But I digress. So that's a little bit about the difference between credit repair and credit building. Now, going back to credit repair a little bit, because I know that it has such a like an icky feeling when you say the words. I mean, you just feel like you want to go take a shower afterwards. I want to address some common misconceptions about the term, about organizations that offer the services and offer the value. And I want to talk about a couple of misconceptions about it in general, right? Because most people think whenever I'm advertising, or I may put out a post about, you know, celebrating about somebody that saw a 75-point increase. And, a lot of times, well, I won't say a lot of times, sometimes I'm bad about putting in the past and the context around that. And it's not always that they came in and boom, 30 days later, they've got 75-point increase and they're off to the bank to get a loan to buy their dream home. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes it does. I will be completely honest, but it's not always a quick fix. Um, you know, some people can do that, and I hate. I don't want to use the word hate because it's such a strong word, but I extremely dislike that commercial about boosting your credit score. You know the which one that I'm talking about. Sometimes it had a purple cow, I think, or something. And it's like we can take you from, a 500 to a 775 with just a connection. And it's like, no, you can't. You can't. It's insinuating all of these different, success stories, but I've only ever seen that in all of my career. Just I could probably count on one hand how many times that's happened. And even if it does, it's kind of like winning the lottery. You didn't earn it. You don't know what happened. You don't know why it happened, and you don't know how to sustain it unless you just get lucky and you happen to be taking the course and you happen to be learning about the information while it shot up, and it happened to shoot up within 15 to 30 days. On the contrary, though, if you are able to remove some items that have been disputed and you're rebuilding your credit and you're working through it and you're making your payments on time, after about 6 to 8 months of really disciplined work, you can see those types of increases. It's going to take a little bit longer, but guess what? You now have the knowledge, you now have the discipline, you have the muscle memory and the habits to be able to, if you do miss a payment and it drops back down, to be able to get it back up. And that's the whole point. That's the whole point, is to be able to help you learn from your mistakes, help you to remove some of those mistakes so that you're not having to trudge through them while you're building up those positive trade lines that you have. And you're able to move forward. Um the second one is kind of in that same vein, that credit repair companies can remove any negative item. Completely false. Now, I don't want to say that it's black and white, because it's really not. I've seen a lot of different items removed. I've seen bankruptcies removed. I've seen, late payment history removed. I've seen charged offs and evictions and repossessions and collections removed. I've seen it all. I've seen it all removed. A lot of it being my own. But not everyone's situation is the same. Not every account has the same history. Not every, eviction happened the same way. Not every collection was bought and sold through the same process. And so, under the FCRA, the Fair Credit Reporting Act, it was a law passed in 1970 by Congress, by our very own up on the Hill. And it states that any American has the right to dispute these things on their credit reports at any given time. Now, I'll give you a secret. Okay. Are you listening? Anybody can report and dispute these negative items. Okay. Anybody can. You have the authority, you have the ability, you have the right to dispute these negative items by yourself on your own at your free will to do that. With that being said, there's a right way to do it and there is a terribly, terribly wrong way to do it. Okay. Now, I'm not going to sit here and fearmonger and tell you, that you'll lose all your credit score if you do it the wrong way and you'll never be able to get an 800 and blah, 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 blah. But I'm telling you, if you do it the wrong way, if you say the wrong things, it can take a lot longer. I'll put it that way. But you can do this. You can watch the YouTube videos. You can take the courses. You can do the DIY. It just may take a little bit longer. Okay. So that's number 2. Number 3, my favorite one. My favorite S word ever. Just because so many people love to just toss it around. All credit repair organizations are scams. Scams. They're out to get your money. Take it and run. They're the new age tax collector. Scams. Now, there are a lot of con artists out there. I'll be the first one to admit it. But not all credit repair organizations are scams. Right here. Not all credit repair organizations are scams. Cool. Okay. We follow the legal guidelines. We provide a transparent service and protection plan. And we educate you by the book, by the law, and we give you any updates as they are readily available. Okay. You can ask me at any given time anything about anything that's happened. I'm not going to make promises. I can't. I'm legally bound by the FCRA, by the FCCA, by a bunch of other acronyms. And, I will tell you if I think something can be removed or not. I can't promise it. I'm not going to guarantee it. You can't make me. But I've seen a whole heck of a lot of success stories, and I'm seeing new ones pop up every single day within our organization, within our team, our community, and the whole company that I'm associated with. So that took a little while longer than I thought it was going to, but that's okay because it's important. It is extremely important. Now, moving along, why is it necessary? Okay. When we think about our financial health care, I want you to think about it for a moment in terms of your body's health care. Okay. Medicine, vitamins, exercise, all of that in order to keep ourselves in optimal shape. Okay. We didn't get this way overnight. Whether you are in shape, out of shape, somewhere in between, you didn't get that way overnight. You couldn't have. You've not been around forever. Okay. Likewise, you haven't been 18 years or older forever. You haven't had a credit score forever, if you even have one. But if you have one and you've made past mistakes, they didn't happen overnight. I promise it, because they weren't reported overnight. Couldn't have been. It's not like you swiped the credit card, maxed it out, let it go into collections, and it was reported, you know, between a Monday and a Tuesday. Can't happen. Okay. So, discussing the long term effects, it's a discipline. It's just like going to the gym. It's just like eating healthy. It's just like, you know, having a diet. You have to stay consistent. If you stay consistent on knowing what you know about how credit works, about financial literacy, about budgeting, you will keep your credit score. Excuse me, let me take a step back. You will keep your money management, and you will keep your goals in tip top shape. And by virtue, as a side effect, just like your weight, you will keep your credit score in tip top shape. Okay. Because, and why is this important? Why is this necessary? Because you don't know what is in store for you down the road. Let's say, God forbid, you wake up tomorrow morning and you go to your job. On the way to your job, a deer runs out in front of you and boom, totals your car. Or you're going through a red light and boom, somebody sideswipes you, somebody T-bones you, and your car is totaled. Not your fault, but now you have to find a new car. Well, if your credit score is a 480, best of luck. But if it's a 780, you have one less thing to worry about. Let's try it again. Let's say, I'm trying to think. Let's say your in-laws are getting older and you're like, we need somewhere to go, somewhere to take them, somewhere to help them out. You can go to assisted living. You can build on an addition to your home, or you can, change the office into a spare bedroom. All three of these might take a personal loan. Again, if you have a 480, it's going to be a whole lot more difficult. I can't say that it can't happen, but you're going to be charged a whole lot more in interest in order to get that same personal loan. If you're trying to get a house, a 480 is going to be a lot more difficult. And let me share my screen real quick. I've got a good example right here. That kind of paints a pretty good picture. Let me know if you can see this right here. Boom. Good credit versus bad credit when purchasing a home. $240,000 house, 30-year fixed mortgage. There you go. This is Evergreen. 12.9% versus a 4.025%. There's the numbers. The numbers don't lie, and they're always going to be the same. It may not always be a 12.9, it may not always be a 4.0, but at a 560 or lower, you can probably rest assured that your interest rate is going to be somewhere in that ballpark. If you're over a 740, 750, you're probably looking pretty good at around a 4 or a 5% interest rate. But the point of the matter is it's a light years difference between the two. It's completely between anxiety city and paradise. I mean, it's a completely night and day difference. Trying to get my um so yeah, couple of examples there. But the list goes on. It doesn't matter if you're buying or if you're renting, if you need a car, if you need a cell phone, heck, even some jobs are going to run your credit. It may be a soft check, it may be a hard check, doesn't matter. If your score is at the bottom of the spectrum, you're at risk of not getting approved. You're at risk of not getting hired. You're at risk of not getting that cell phone or that car. And that's just, one more thing that you have to worry about. So, the next part that I want to talk about is who needs it? Because again, like I said, if you have all of those things that I talked about at the beginning, you may not need it. But if you don't, if you have a credit score below 600, you most likely are in that boat because of past mistakes. Now, if you haven't learned from those mistakes and you're still committing them, then you may not have a budget. You may have been denied loans. You may have been denied credit cards. You may have a history of late payments. Again, those mistakes. You may have gone ahead and bitten the bullet and committed, bankruptcy. You may have let collections slip into, let accounts slip into collections. And it's not the end of the world. Don't get me wrong. Just because you need credit repair does not mean that it's the end of the world. I have a solution for you. I'm just not going to talk about it on this live because it's not necessary right now. I want you to understand whether or not you need it. That's all that I want to accomplish on this call tonight. Because those who have good to excellent credit scores are going to be in a lot better shape. But if you don't, and you need a budget, you need savings goals, you need credit monitoring, you need to have your credit and your identity protected. Maybe you've been a victim of identity theft online or offline, and that's why your credit's bad. Not because you don't have the disciplines, but maybe you have been a victim of identity theft. And that's okay. We can help you with that too. But it's understanding where you are and helping you become financially responsible, helping you become financially organized, and helping you become financially protected in all facets of that. So, I want to talk about this really quickly and then I'm going to open the floor because I know that, maybe at this point y'all have some questions. If you have, please put them in the chat. And I can answer them one by one. But I want to talk a little bit about how to get started with the credit repair process because the whole process does not include me. That's one thing that I want to talk about, that I want to communicate from the top of the highest peak is you can do a lot of it before you even reach out to me. And it starts with a website that I want to share real quick. Let's see. It starts with a website called www.annualcreditreport.com. This is extremely important. If you're watching this and you're like, I need to do something, I want you to go to this website, and I'm going to share my screen again because this is so, so important. I tell everybody this, whether or not you decide to work with me or not, this is somewhere you need to go at least once a quarter. Okay. At least once a quarter. This website right here is completely free. You can pull your 3 credit reports. FICO, Vantage Score, it doesn't matter. It doesn't pull your score. It doesn't affect your score. It pulls your credit reports. What is on your credit reports? Think about it as like your report card versus your GPA. Okay. Your GPA is just a number, but it represents what's on your credit, what makes up your report cards, right? What you got in history and in biology and in math, science, whatever. All of that makes up is represented by your GPA. This is going to be your credit report, your grade reports. Okay. These are your score. These are your grade reports. And so you can pull this once a week for the foreseeable future for completely free. Okay. I can come here. You go here, request your credit reports, fill out this form. It is completely secured. And you can plug in your information there. There you go. Secure transaction. Once you hit next, I'm not going to do it because, well, the world would have my information. But once you hit that, you pick the reports you want. Now you have to go through each one. Each one is a little bit of a process, but you want to do all 3 because not everything on one report may be reported to the other 2 or the other 1. Okay. So you want to do all 3 and you want to pull it up and you want to download it as a PDF. You can do this for each and all 3 of the major credit bureaus. Okay. When you pull those up, if you want me to analyze them with you, I don't mind, completely free of charge. I will not charge you a dime. I want you to know what's on your credit reports. I want you to know how to read them. And I want you to know what you have to do about anything that's negative. Okay. Anything that's hurting. That's what I mean by negative. Anything that's hurting your score, keeping it below an 850 or an 800 or a 775 or 750. Anything within that excellent range that's keeping it out of that, I want you to know about it. And at that point, then you have the knowledge and you have the information that you need to make a decision, because that's the most important part. If you don't know it's on there, you can't make a decision. If you know it's on there and you decide not to make a decision, that's a different story. That's a different story. So this right here is a game changer, an absolute game changer. Okay. Write that down. Annualcreditreport.com. Cool. All right. Now, once you do that and you identify anything that may be erroneous, maybe inaccurate, or maybe obsolete, like I said, you have the decision. I can help you. My team can help you, or you could do it on your own. Now, for liability's sake, I'm not going to be able to write them for you and just give them to you. I can't do that because again, I'm bound. But we have attorneys who will write the letters for you, who will send them off for you, who will give you the peace of mind that they are being done in the most effective and the most legal and the most ethical way possible. Okay, to give you the best chance of getting those negative items removed, moving forward from those past mistakes, and growing from them. Then, if you have something that is there, let's say you have a collection that we cannot get removed. Let's say you have debt that you are like, I want to pay this off. I want to settle this. You can negotiate with creditors. Now, it has to be done again in a specific manner so that you are not strong armed. You are not left validated with something that you have to pay the whole entire debt on, and that you can do something that is reasonable for your budget, something that is reasonable for your lifestyle, and that is something that is reasonable for your goals. And if it's not, then we have to do something about that. But if you've already taken a bunch of steps and tried a bunch of things, my hands on what I can do to help you may be tied. So, again, if you have questions, if you have concerns, if you're not sure, ask, ask. Completely free. I'm here. I'm an open book. Okay. So, with that being said, I would like to show you a little bit. Again, I'm not giving you, I'm not selling you anything. I'm just sharing value. I want you to know what is out there for your options. Okay. So let me share my screen real quick. This right here is oops, is the services that I used myself. Again, I just want you to know that they are there in case you need them. There we go. Okay. So this is the protection plan I was telling you about. You can see, no dollar signs, no, I'm not selling you anything. This is what what I used. And it was a game changer. It was a life changer. It gave me back my buying power. It gave me back financial literacy. It gave me back my financial health care. And you can see everything that's included. It was amazing. Still is to this day. Still, I still use this all the time. Different parts of it. It's amazing. It's I don't know why, when you turn 18, you should be given one of these as an American, in my opinion. Really should. But that's what I used. Okay. So I shared it with you. Now let's move forward. I want to open the floor. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time because, like I said, I wanted to keep this between 30 and 40 minutes. If you have questions, if you have concerns, obviously, please. There we go. Can you hear me now? Sorry, technical difficulties here. Okay, I think I'm on now. Um, so yeah, so if you have questions, are if you're stuck with something, let please let me know, and I will be more than happy um, to answer them to the best of my ability. In the interest of time, I will, since we're at a little over 40 minutes now, I'll go ahead and wrap it up. And I just wanted to kind of reiterate a couple of things. One, mistakes happen, life happens, things are sometimes out of our control, but it doesn't mean that it's the end of the world. And I want to, if there's one thing that you take away from this live, it's that I want to be able to help. I can't help everybody, and I understand that, but I want to help as many people as I can. Okay. And if I don't know that there's something going on, then I can't help. So if you need some help as far as your credit, as far as your financial literacy, as far as helping you budget, save, as far as helping you minimize your overhead if you have too many bills that you're trying to wrap your head around and get control of, I want to be able to help you. And so I invite anyone to reach out to have a conversation. Again, I'm not promising that I can help everyone, but I'm promising that I will attempt. Okay. Next, not all credit repair organizations are scams. I want to make sure that that is clear. Not all credit repair organizations are scams. There are a lot out there, and you have to be careful. But just because one is not, it doesn't mean that all of them are. Okay. I got into business because I care about people, because I care about their futures, and I want to help people create success stories. Okay. Um, and then last but not least, www.creditrepair, excuse me, www.annualcreditreport.com. Make sure you write it down. Make sure you visit it at least once a week, maybe twice a month, and pull your credit reports, especially if you're trying to actively build it. If you're not, if you know where it's at, then then it's okay. Maybe once a month, once a quarter. One thing that I'll touch on real quick that I kind of forgot about is in regards to credit repair monitor or credit monitoring. When it comes to, and this is something I could talk about for the rest of the night, but when it comes to credit monitoring, Credit Karma and Credit Sesame are credit monitoring apps. You can pull your credit and you can look at your score for, every hour of every day, and it won't affect your score, but it will show up on your credit reports every single time it pulls and it does a soft check. But it is pulling your Vantage score. Your Vantage score is different from your FICO score, which is going to be used by lenders, auto lenders, mortgage lenders, lenders at the bank. They're going to look at your FICO score. That is why it's different from the score you see on your screen whenever you look at it on your phone. Okay. It's not wrong. It's not inaccurate. It's different. It's not wrong. It's not inaccurate. It's different. And it's because it's weighted differently. Don't ask me why they decided to have two models. There's actually 26 models, if I'm being honest, 26 or 28 models of how credit scores are calculated. You have a mortgage score, you have an auto score, you have an insurance score, you have your regular score, you have a FICO score, there's all these different types of models. The one that you're most familiar with, if you're familiar with them at all, is the one on your credit score, your Credit Karma app, or the one that may be on a credit card denial letter. If you see those, they're two different ones. It's your a credit card denial letter will show typically your TransUnion FICO score. The one on your Credit Karma app or even a Capital One app is going to use the Vantage score. Okay. Two different models. Two different models. Okay. So I hope that you have gotten value out of this. I hope that you've taken away something. If it spurred more questions, please feel free to reach out. Ask me all that you can, all that you want to. If you would like to schedule a consultation, what I'd like to ask you to do is go to my name right here on the screen, jordanbloomingdale.com. And on there is a button to book a call. And I invite you to schedule a free consultation and we can go through your reports. If there are areas where I can help you, I will let you know. But on the contrary, if there's not anything for me and it's just like you just have to pay off debt. I was talking with a lady earlier today and she had so much that she had accumulated from life happening. And it was like, she was like, how much does it cost to fix my credit score? And I said, well, it depends. What do you have? Do you have negative items? Do you have collections? Do you have closed accounts? Do you have late payments? She goes, well, we've just accumulated. She lives down in Florida. She said, we've accumulated debt from having to make repairs from a past hurricane. Life happened. And so I said, look, do you have a budget? She said, well, yeah, but it's difficult. Inflation and everything. I said, I get it. I get it. I said, but we have to get on top of it temporarily. And we have to set up a game plan. And if we can do that, even for a small amount of time, to allow you to get on top of that debt, which will in turn help you increase your scores, then you can get back to living life. So I hope that this gives those out there some hope. I hope that this gives some clarification and hopefully this will give you an idea of where you stand. And again, if you're completely in the dark still, please reach out and ask me questions. Register, register a free consultation or schedule a free consultation. And if you would like to learn more about the program that I talked about, and I'll put all of these in the comments, I know I'm throwing a lot of touch points at you. If you would like to learn a little bit more about the program that I mentioned briefly, we have a live call every Thursday night that we talk about it. 9 p.m. Thursday night. We'll have one tomorrow. This time tomorrow, we'll be wrapping it up. It's only about 30, 40 minutes, about the length of this call tonight. And you can go to www.buildexcellentcredit.com/event, EVENT. And you can register for it for free there. You can watch it on your phone, on probably your watch, wherever you can. It'll be on Google Meet. And I invite you to come check that out if you would like more information. So with that being said, I am way past due. I bid you good night. And I want to thank you so much for your time. Again, if you're watching this on replay, please feel free to reach out, ask me any questions. And until then, I hope you have a great night. Thank you.